Hello everyone. The United States has the largest number of military personnel stationed overseas in the world, with around 170,000 troops. Around 50% are located in East Asia, with 56,000 in Japan and over 28,000 in South Korea. Around 38% are in Europe, with 36,000 in Germany, over 12,000 in Italy, nearly 10,000 in the United Kingdom, and over 3,000 in Spain. The rest are scattered in other regions around the world. With the average soldier's salary at around $50,000 per year, it costs about $8.5 billion just to pay them, not including training, lodging, and healthcare costs. According to the U.S. Defense Department, the total amount they've needed to build and maintain bases overseas over the past decade is around over $50 billion per year, not counting war costs. Spending money, time, and risking soldiers' lives to protect allies, so what do they get in return? At first glance, the U.S. seems to be at a disadvantage for many years. Specifically, NATO allies only share one-third of protection costs, around $2.5 billion, mostly indirectly by providing rent-free bases or tax exemptions. Overall, they are quite stingy. South Korea is a bit more generous, covering 40% of costs. Even more generous are the wealthy Middle Eastern countries of Kuwait, 58%, Qatar, 61%, and Saudi Arabia, 65%. The most generous is Japan, covering 75% of costs. Other countries pay little or nothing for U.S. protection. So it seems the U.S. suffers losses by stationing troops to protect its allies. However, that's only the visible part of the iceberg. They receive far more valuable benefits in return. First, although no country fully reimburses the U.S. for protection costs, subordinates must know their place. Instead of money, they become U.S. arms buyers. The UK, Netherlands, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Japan, and South Korea are all wealthy countries eager to lavishly spend on their militaries. Selling to them provides the U.S. with funds and incentives to continually upgrade and improve military technology, increasing U.S. military power. To illustrate, from 2019 to 2022, the U.S. sold an average of $45.8 billion worth of arms and military equipment annually. Second, stationing troops in another country cements alliances and diplomatic ties between both sides. U.S. officials have repeatedly stated that bases in Europe protect allies from Russia. Those in the Middle East ensure oil flow and deter Iran, while Asian bases protect allies from North Korea and China's rise. With that significance, most countries gladly cooperate with the U.S., even conceding on some foreign policy and trade issues favoring the U.S. Third, it's no secret the U.S. wants to maintain global dominance. Having its military everywhere is like a hierarchy with the U.S. as boss and host countries as subordinates. On one hand, it protects allies. On the other, it deters enemies by enabling immediate attacks via the global network of military bases and ports for swift force projection. It also easily detects threats to the U.S. for remote early warning. However, there are always trade-offs even as top dog. The U.S. faces many challenges maintaining bases worldwide. Most prominent are Middle Eastern countries, where terrorist groups have targeted U.S. bases hundreds of times. Driven by religious extremism, they believe no foreign power should occupy their holy lands. While the U.S. intention is maintaining regional peace and stability, its presence has created more enemies. Basing near Russia compels it to increase military strength defensively. Similarly, large U.S. forces in Japan and South Korea prompt North Korea to aggressively develop nuclear weapons and China to accelerate its arms race with the U.S. Though most bases were negotiated, local populations often dislike foreign troops on their soil. A prime example is Japan, a supposed U.S. ally. Japanese citizens have protested at least 10 times since 1955 against U.S. bases on Okinawa. Causes include sexual assaults on women and children by U.S. soldiers, deadly military accidents, environmental pollution, and damage to marine ecosystems. Most recently, in 2019, over 70% of Okinawa voters, around 434,000 people, voted against relocating the Futenma base from Jinhawan to Hanoko. These incidents significantly harm America's reputation. Opposing forces capitalize on this to propagandize the evils of U.S. imperialism and foreign occupation. Moreover, readily available bases tempt Washington to use hard military power over soft power persuasion and negotiation. It has deployed forces from bases to intervene in 14 countries' internal affairs at least 23 times, earning greater hostility worldwide. In summary, being the dominant global superpower brings many benefits but also comes with challenges.